Hello everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Happy Saturday to you. Hope you're having an amazing day to you and your family. And we're going to take, of course, another quick look here at Bitcoin, see what's going on, help understand best practice and big picture. And just so you know, there's not a tremendous amount that's really happened in the last 24 hours, but in truth, there are some positive things we want to highlight on smaller time frames to identify essentially if this could continue further or if we've, have we hit the bottom? Are we going to bounce, double bottom, whatever the case is? We'll go and look at that and much more. If you're new to the channel, though, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I love teaching people to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. My goal is to help you become a better trader. So just, if you want something like that, consider joining. CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below. We have over 200 active members, and it's a really awesome experience. And what we do is I just provide you with a trading academy. Kind of teach you how to trade. Everything that I know, of course, is in there, as well as the fact that I send out signals for every single trade that I take, so you know specifically, what to do in this environment. Like, how do you structure your trades effectively? I think that's the biggest area of opportunity for a lot of people is picking the right trade, not necessarily the right timing. Okay. So again, the trade structure is important. So we cover that. And of course, there's a community where we have roundtable discussions and a whole handful of other things. So check that out in your own time. Once again, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link in the description below. Take a look here at Bitcoin. Really standard stuff again. Today, we're kind of, I wouldn't say bottoming out per se, but we might be. So let's just go ahead and touch on a couple of things here. First of all, the point in which the price wicked down today is effectively the one-day candlestick close from before. So 18,900, you could say around number 19,000 is essentially the key level support for Bitcoin. Okay, and when I say key level support, just basically on the daily candlestick close, that's where it closed previously, and that's kind of something that we can see kind of as an area of contention. When the price action comes down to 18,900 or 19,000, you can see some significant resistance there, or more so support from the bulls. All right, so that's generally what we're looking at there. Positive in that sense, but is it a guarantee it's going to hold? No, because the more often you test something, the more likely it is to break. And it's been tested 1, 2, 3 times in the last 3 trading days, as well as previously. So wouldn't be surprised if we do end up losing that support level just based on the way that that works. But we do have some other things to identify. According to TD Sequential, we can see we're day number 6 here to the downside. Technically, it's 7th red candle. And in Bitcoin's history, it commonly doesn't go further than 9 days red. So in that sense, just say hypothetically that we continue down to a 9, we'd be obviously at a lower price point, of course, but for lack of better terms, we would be in a position where it's exhaustive to the downside and the likelihood of a recovery is higher. Going into a holiday weekend, that makes sense. There's only 2 more days left until the holiday. Perhaps July 5th is the takeoff date. Maybe we'll see some fireworks. It's hard to say specifically, but this is somewhat of a double bottom that we're seeing here, and this pattern typically emerges to the upside. Again, it's not going to be glorious. I don't think it's going to be a shot to the moon. I do think that we're going to start seeing some kind of reprieve here soon, within the next couple of months, of course, to the upside to kind of try to test that 24,000 mark and or that descending trend line here. We can see that's working concurrent with a 50-day simple moving average. Okay, so all good stuff there in that regard. Take a look at the daily down below as well. We can of course see that we are stuck below, or tentatively below. Again, the candlestick hasn't closed yet for today, but we're underneath 50 and 30 on the RSI. So again, being below 50 kind of gives us that bearish sentiment, and being below 30, it shows us that extreme bearish sentiment. Just know in the past, Bitcoin, when it drops below, it's very common for it to stay under for a full week. So we could very well see the price action slowly dissipate over the next few days, and then the price break back above. Or today, we could effectively get a bounce because this candlestick hasn't closed yet, and we could totally see something like that. I just wouldn't expect amazing stuff over the weekend. With the exception of like 2 weekends ago, we rarely see high volume on the weekends. It just tapers off significantly, and you can just kind of expect it to be a low volume weekend. It's already shaping up to be one of those. Okay, so nothing spectacular. So that's kind of where we're at there. We're going to skip the monthly and the weekly. We've already reviewed that. There's not much that's going to change there. The monthly candle did close right at the key level support, so we're tentatively right there, but we're also below a key level resistance moving average on the 50-day SMA. So not a great sign there in that sense. But history repeats itself. We'll see within another month or two the price recover to the upside. We also have seen as well, one last thing to touch on here is the monthly. Just so you know, we have 3 red candles, 3 red candles, and 3 red candles, all followed by 2 green candles. So hypothetically, we'll see 2 green candles here in the month of July and August. Again, hypothetically, no guarantees, but there is a probability we're going to see something along those lines. All right. So I said I wouldn't show you, and I did anyways. But regardless, that's kind of the bumper sticker version of what's going on the monthly. Looking at the 4-hour, something important to recognize here is we keep getting rejected by the 20-day SMA. I came up to test that once, twice, 3 times, and effectively nothing's happened yet. So it's still running concurrent with this more immediate downtrend. So until we break above the 20, at the very least, quite possibly the 50 on the 4-hour, we don't really have much of a leg to stand on. So again, not saying you shouldn't take a long position, because we technically did recently. I personally feel that Bitcoin will recover over the next few days, maybe not significantly or dramatically, but the likelihood of it going up from here first before it goes down, I think, is higher. So, we should expect to see that, but what I'm getting at is that, until we break back above any of these moving averages or this descending trend, we haven't broken it yet. But here's some positive and something to kind of highlight so you can kind of see and understand that we are moving in the right direction. We're effectively and finally establishing higher lows. So in all reality, you could say that this is lower than these two. So technically it's making lower lows in the immediate time frame, but in the overall sense of this direction, we are making higher lows. So again, as long as we don't get a candlestick close on the 4-hour below 18,900, we should be in pretty good shape to see this continue to progress upwards. Once again, no guarantees there. There's a lot of resistance levels kind of holding in place and preventing the price action from going further. That being said, we had a MACD convergence recently, albeit not very strong, but it was there nonetheless. So that did kind of effectively help the price action push up recently. Again, that's a bit of a stretch. I don't really care about that right now. It's not really super relevant, but it is something to recognize and understand. We are barely also making higher lows in the hourly, but also lower lows. So again, lower highs rather. When you have lower highs and higher lows, it'll typically work itself into a wedge and it'll break out to one way or the other. Oftentimes it breaks out to the direction that it came from, but this is deceiving because this direction here, it came up and then down. So naturally you'd expect the price to go down further. However, this was complete manipulation at the end of the month. I don't think we should take that into consideration, whereas the price action came up and did one of these, so the likelihood of it continuing higher from here is greater. Again, just based on patterns alone. Patterns never are 100%, but they increase your odds typically more than 50. In other words, I would say on average, if you have a candlestick pattern or ascending, descending trend lines, whatever they are, bear flag, bull flag, pennant, all those are included in the sense that it's more of a 50% probability it's going to happen. So when you see something like this happen, an ascending type of wedge, whereas the price action came from the downside, we should expect it to break to the upside based on that sentiment, in the sense that it would be probably 60-70% probability it's going to go up than it would down. Again, that's just kind of, I'm making statistics up on the spot, right? That's exactly how they are. But generally speaking, it's more favorable than not if the price were to go in the direction that it's heading based on that specific trend. And right now we are seeing a decent little trend here, and it's nothing to be super celebrated or excited about. It's on the hourly. I like to see trends forming on the 4-hour or the daily, but generally speaking, the micro is looking slightly better than the macro for Bitcoin. Okay, so I do feel like we might see some reprieve, if not today, definitely this upcoming week. Because again, we're 7 red candlesticks into this descending type of pattern. So it's just inevitable for the price to come back up at one point or another. And hitting its double bottom right around 18,000 in that range is a pretty significant indicator that we might be close to the bottom. Okay. Again, be prepared for 14,000 or lower. There's definitely still a probability of that. But is it going to happen right away? Probably not. I would expect the price to go up and sideways first before we see that. Again, just kind of, if at the very least, make higher, a lower high essentially, and then continue lower, right? But for right now, anything lower right now wouldn't make a tremendous amount of sense. I think we'd see a lot of buying pressure, and we still are seeing that right now. All right, anyways, hopefully that made sense. I know I kind of went off on a tangent there. Taking a look at the cloud, we can see, of course, Ichimoku cloud telling us no long, no shorts. Really, honestly, we're underneath the cloud, which is typically disadvantageous, telling you that you want to keep your short position open. However, lagging span intersected with the price action and the conversion lines below the baseline. So those are basically 1 out of 2 reasons to close your position. So it still has momentum to the downside, but that lagging span is telling us, hey, it hasn't moved down further in the immediate future or the relative recent past, and it hasn't had an opportunity to be able to be free and clear. In other words, this has to be clear of any price action. So inevitably, you just say the price comes up here, the lagging span will go up here, and that'd be a case in point where you'd want to consider taking entry. Okay. So I like the lagging span in that sense. It gives you a really good estimate of the momentous trend, if it's dissipated or stopped. And the momentum of this downside, this little downside from this push up, has started to dissipate. And in that sense, we should expect the price to continue to progress sideways and up from here. Okay. We might see another retest of this key level here, right at the range of about 18,000 once again. It's kind of a rough estimate, but there is a chance we'll see the price action come down to try to retest that level before it jumps up again. And what that would do for us here, just so you understand why that's relevant, that would provide for us a double bottom. And double bottom patterns are typically very strong in the sense that the likelihood of it bouncing back and recovering is quite high, because the bears have tried twice, not just one time, but twice at the same level, and they see a lot of buying pressure. So if volume increases here in this area, we can expect the price to recover and increase. We shouldn't expect to see that kind of volume over the next 2 to 3 trading days until the traditional markets open up on the 5th of July. Granted, we could very well see something along lines tomorrow evening, of course, because other countries do not celebrate the 4th of July, and in that sense, they could very well also shift the market in a specific direction. But when traditional markets open, those are cases and points where we see a lot more volatility, and we'll see more volume, and increased volume at this lower price point would be very beneficial. So we're going to pay attention to the volume over the next few days and make sure we kind of see roughly what that looks like. But not much is going on right now. Obviously, I think I mentioned this previously. You see the volume. It's pretty low. It's a standard weekend. Most weekends have low volume, with the exception of last weekend. It was kind of a weird one. Or was that 2 weeks ago? I think that was roughly 2 weeks ago. So that was an interesting situation. We probably will never see that again. So I wouldn't expect any fireworks this weekend, no pun intended, minus Monday, of course. So, unfortunately, my dog is terrified of the fireworks, so I usually just stay home and hang out with him all day and make sure that he's okay and deal with that. So I hope you have a wonderful and safe, happy 4th of July, but, maybe be considerate of your neighbors if they have animals and you have fireworks. All right, nonetheless, we'll go ahead and review this here again tomorrow. Hope you had a good learning experience, and thank you so much for joining me here. CryptoCache.tech, again, is a website. Link in the description below if you want to become a better trader. I look forward to working with you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.